Okay, and joining us now with more on what this unexpected twist means for the planned $4.7 billion takeover of Smithfield Foods by Chinese company Shuangwei is Tom Burnett. He's the Vice Chairman and Director of Research for Wall Street Access. Tom, thank you for joining us. So Tom, as we've just discussed, one of Smithfield's biggest shareholders, Starboard, wants to make the company split up into three parts, saying that shareholders could make more money that way. What do you think?
It's very difficult to project what three different buyers would pay for three separate operations. In our view, it's probably wiser to take a bird in the hand instead of one that might be in the bush. We also note that Continental Grain, a longtime large shareholder of Smithfield, sold its roughly 6% interest into the market after the merger was announced at the 32-33 level.
But Continental Grain had actually initially also proposed splitting the company and then kind of gave up on that quest and only then sold its shares on the market. So it was also a proponent of this divide the assets idea.
It was a proponent, but again, it realized that let's take the value that we have now. The stock had been as low as $6 a share 4 years ago in March of '09. So here we are, a chance to make 4, 5, 6 times whatever we had at the bottom there. Let's just get out and not take the risk of the difficulty of getting three different buyers. We also note that the company's earnings took a bit of a spill in the recently announced period.
Right.
In the April fiscal year. Adjusted earnings were down from roughly $2.50 a share to $1.80. Therefore, this merger, $34 price, is almost 20 times adjusted earnings.
But one of the reasons that the company claimed that their earnings took a spill was because of the drought, which raised grain prices. So one could argue a one-time event.
We could argue that, but again, you're subject to these commodity price change. The fluctuations are dramatic and they're volatile. Therefore, you should get a lower multiple when you do decide to sell. Best thing to do now, if you own the stock, you wait. You've got a June 29 date for these two other buyers, one in Brazil, one in Asia, I believe in Thailand, who have a preferred pre-existing standing with Smithfield. And then if nothing happens after that, I think waiting for the Starboard possibility
Who
out
would
there.
possibly be interested in buying the companies in three separate units?
Well, I think Starboard makes a point that you get specialists in the consumer part, the agricultural part, and the livestock part who might be willing to pay more for their individual segment. However, regulatory problems crop up when you have a large buyer buying in its own field.
Right.
So you lose that antitrust protection now. Right now, there's not much antitrust risk in the Smithfield deal on the table. There is CFIUS risk, as we heard earlier from Washington. Nobody could really handicap that. But if you're a shareholder, you're probably best waiting to the June 29 end of the limited go-shop period with these other two buyers, and then you reevaluate.
Is there any chance that this could indeed derail the offer by Shuangwei, or maybe force them to come up with a better price?
If you're Shuangwei, you have to wait and see what the other two big buyers are going to do. And then you just hold and say, this is the best deal you've got. A majority of shareholders have to approve it. It's not a 2/3 or a 60% vote. And they'll certainly get that if there's not anything more definitive on the table. Right now, the Chinese bid is clearly the best one.
But this would be the largest takeover by a Chinese company of a U.S. company. Are we likely to see regulators in Washington getting involved in this process?
We are, and I think that it's very interesting in terms of the merger agreement. The buyer has put up $275 million into an escrow account for a reverse termination fee, which will be paid to Smithfield if the deal breaks on regulatory or financing difficulties, except if they can't get CFIUS, then they don't owe the $275.
What is CFIUS? Explain that to our
That's
viewers.
Basically a combination agency run out of the U.S. Treasury, and it's the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S. looks at national security issues by foreign purchasers, usually when there's a government interest involved. So
what would be a potential national security issue here?
That's a very good question, and politicians tend to make these things up as they go along. The biggest one we had was the CNOOC bid for Unocal 5 years ago.
Right.
Chevron came in, a domestic buyer. A lot of political controversy about these priceless assets that Unocal had, half of which were in Asia to begin with. So you see the politicians trump up excuses if they feel, the White House and the experts at Treasury feel that we have to send China a message about cyber security or other non-related issues.
This isn't the farm. There's no
That's
cybersecurity
right,
issue
but
here.
they will send a message that you can't come over here and just buy $4 billion worth of prized U.S. assets.
Very quickly, yes or no, do you think this deal will go through with Shuangwei?
I think the most likely scenario is that you're going to get 34.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much.
Thank
Tom
you for
Burnett.
having me.
Thank you. That's Tom Burnett, Vice Chairman and Director of Research for Wall Street Access.